I've already done this introduction once. I have a nice outdoor video for you, but the first part of it didn't work, so we have to do the introduction inside and the video outside. I hope you guys don't mind. I lost it somewhere. I have no idea where it went. It was in the camera when I took it, but when I got back, it was gone. So today we're going to talk about methane and all kinds of stuff about methane. But there's some bullshit going around saying that methane emissions are lower or flattening out. And that just isn't true. I've got graphs to show it. But let's go over and look at the rest of the video. So methane accounts for about 25% of all the greenhouse gases. But it's a tricky gas because after it's methane, it turns into CO2, which then goes into the CO2 column. So this thing about, oh, methane goes away. No, it doesn't go away. We have to remember on this planet, nothing goes away as we think it does. Throw it in the trash and it goes away. No, it goes somewhere. Some place where somebody else is that doesn't have as much money as the people that had the ability to throw it away. If that makes sense. Just a rant. The largest emitter of methane, the oil and gas industry, is the biggest emitter. Dairy contribute 20%, just the dairy cows themselves, to the methane, and the dairy manure counts for 25%. Oops, somebody's coming. I can hear it. Right over there. I think it's snaking around towards us. Sounds like two people. What countries are the largest emitter of methane? China, 23%. US, 19%. EU, 13%. India, 6%. Russia, 6%. Japan, 4%. Canada, 2%. So let's break down how methane is produced and what is the percentages that are adding to the methane problem. You see this thing right here on the lens? Can't stand that. Let's see if we can get rid of that there. I will not have that on my lens. Oil pipelines, 9%. Coal, 6%. Extractions, the process of getting oil and gas, 4%. Wastewater, 4%, rice production 3%, meat production 10%. Loads of people out. Okay, a lot of news organizations are reporting that methane is flat. It's not going up anymore. I want to show you this chart that tends to argue with them. Any questions? So let's talk about the meat production. It's up 27.5 billion pounds in 2020. That's up by 1% from 2019. Brazil is up by 3.5%. leading the charge for meat production. That's why they're cutting down the Amazon. China is up by 2%. Meat eating is not going down, it's going up at an exponential rate almost. How can the Amazon survive if everyone's eating meat? It's a luxury that you cannot afford to have here in the US or the world. It just can't happen. I'm gonna try going down that way and hook a left. Or is that a right? Depends on how you look at it, huh? So as you can see, there's some big fixes that can be done by each individual. Meat eating, just slow down on your rice eating. Who knew that rice produced 3% of all the methane, huh? But oil and gas is a big one too. So just think about everything you do and what you can do to cut back on oil and gas use, whether it be driving or buying an ever bigger or newer vehicle each year. If I ever have to buy a vehicle, it's always a used one. Makes a much smaller footprint, doesn't it? A lot of people say it's too late, and that way they don't have to change the way that they act or behave or their footprint or anything. They just stay the same, stagnant, sucky way. And they use can't do it, it's too late, to not have to do it. So they keep preaching that, and that way they don't have to slow down on their meat eating, become vegetarians, drive less, ride bicycles. You know how all that goes. Oh. I appreciate all the ups and downs, the new subscribers, and definitely the comments. And until next time.